Thursday's edition here of the vlog, Culotta and the Prince. The Pellies take flight. We're morons. Prince, we gave him no shot.
No, we weren't the only ones. Mawai felt the same way. Booger felt the same way. Tim Legler. At the end of the day, hey, when you got one of the best players on the planet, you got a shot. And, man, Anthony Davis he's as good as we had hoped he would be.
31-13 last night for Davis versus the Spurs, and they needed all of them. Big block at the end of the game that really sealed it. Now they'll take on the Golden State Warriors. It'll be an 8-1 matchup in the NBA playoffs. We've gotten the times. Pellies will go 2:30 on Saturday from out in the Bay Area for Game 1. It's a team that they beat a week and a half ago inside the Smoothie King Center by 3. It was a night which Golden State played all of their horses. It wasn't as if they were sitting any of their guys down. It'll be a long shot. It's only been done one time in NBA history, and it actually included the Golden State Warriors when they were the 8th seed and beat the top seed Dallas Mavericks. But at this point, you just wanted them in, right? I mean, is the season a win now? Is everything a wash? I mean, is you playing with house money?
To an extent, yeah, I think you are. You want to get into the playoffs. You can't go 3 years with Anthony Davis and not make the playoffs. So you made the playoffs. Now it's about, what do you do with that opportunity? You look at it and, you talk about Golden State. Pelicans are 1-3 against them. The last time they played was the game that they won. This team's 8-3 in their last 11 games, so they're playing better as the season has progressed, and they're playing their best at the end of the season. Certainly last night was the Spurs didn't rest anybody. They didn't pull the dogs off on anything. They went out there and played to win, and the Pelicans won.
Tom Herman stopped by today, new coach over at Houston. He was a Broyles Award winner last season for Ohio State. Hannah Storm was here in the 8 o'clock hour. Shaq and Dale will actually go on ESPN tonight on the Mothership. It debuted earlier this week on the SEC Network. John Brady and Andy Cannizaro. I thought Coach Brady brought good insight, obviously, from the hiring of John Treloar now to the current staff with Johnny Jones. He sat on the bench with Brady from 04 to 08.
Yeah, and I think that when you look at the addition of John Treloar, a guy that is very decorated as an assistant coach, has been working in the personnel department, running the personnel department for the Phoenix Suns for the last 5 years. I think that's a great balance there as a guy who will be able to identify talent. We know he's a proven coach and a guy that on the college level can recruit. I think it's a great addition to the staff here for Johnny Jones, and that's certainly with the sentiment that was shared by Coach Brady.
I love our new segment, the Coaches Clinic, where we have an opportunity to catch up with coaches. Last week it was Jerry Kill from Minnesota. This week, new head coach, first-year guy, and Tom Herman, who was the offensive coordinator with Ohio State under Urban Meyer last 2 seasons, won a national championship. I thought he did a great job of giving him questions that he could come in and talk pretty knowledgeable about. He's a quarterback guy who's developed that position. He wanted to get his voice into this area, obviously with the recruiting benefit. But if you listen to the interview, there's a lot that you can take away from an LSU-type tone.
Yeah, I think that LSU fans need to listen to it and hear about how, some of the things he talks about in terms of developing quarterbacks. I know a lot of the things that the LSU fans are like, I can't believe this is happening. You listen to him, and he answers questions he said in 2012 that at Ohio State they couldn't throw the ball, so they simply ran the ball and they were successful. Well, you look at LSU last year, couldn't run the ball. Couldn't throw the ball, run the ball, you win 8 games. There was a point in time after the Auburn game where, because of the lack of a passing game, people said LSU wasn't going to win another conference game, wasn't going to be bowl eligible. So you look at that, and I guess big picture wise, it's good information there. I think the purpose of the coaching clinic for you and I, it's not to ask somebody about their depth chart. It's not to ask them about a specific scheduling issue or anything like that. These are big picture things where we get an opportunity to talk to college head coaches about scheme, about style, about approach. The broad scope things that will give you an insight on why these people are successful. I think Tom Herman is going to be a very successful coach.
Started qualifying general managers for our draft promotion that will finalize on April 30th over at LaBerge. It'll be on Thursday there, so make sure you stick around and listen to our local shows. Culotta and the Prince, 7 to 9 a.m., Sports Today, 11 to 1, and after further review, 3 to 6 for your opportunity to be qualified daily right here on the Sports Talks leader in Baton Rouge, 104.5, 104.9 ESPN.